Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin shows some weakness today, and yeah, I mean, I'm starting to think if maybe some larger consolidation is unfolding here, because this last red move down, that last red candle doesn't really clearly look anymore or make the price look like in a B wave. But let's talk about it. The support area is still holding. It might break though with that latest push to the downside. Would that be bearish? Well, we are in a bullish market. It might lead to a deeper pullback. Generally, deeper pullbacks are great to accumulate for anybody who wants to find a position for lower price in a bull market. Yeah, and pullback traders can't really buy without pullback. So yeah, it might lead to a deeper pullback. Would it be bearish? Well, it depends on what you define as bearish. I don't really like these terms so much, because, you know, what's bearish for one person is bullish for the other. It's also a matter of time frame. I mean, you know, essentially what we expect is at some point this structure here to break. Minimum expectations for this B wave that started on the 20th of March are fulfilled. So that means at some point we want this support area to break here. There are two support areas I've got on the chart, two micro support areas, an upper one and a lower one. If the price gets a convincing break below 69K, then it indicates that this wave 4 is likely still unfolding here. And a break below 66,690 would indicate that the C wave might have started to the downside finally. What I would prefer though is still one more high before we come down. That would be to make it perfect. It's already fulfilled my minimum requirements of this rally, which means the risk is increasing. But yeah, it's possible that we get one more extension. I would still prefer one more extension, even though, of course, with that latest wick to the downside, that idea is getting challenged a little bit. We're going to zoom in a minute, take a look. But overall, Bitcoin's price hasn't moved dramatically. See a little bit of selling pressure today. That could already be different tomorrow. But this is the overall structure, and this is sort of how I would like it to unfold. A wave to the downside, B wave to the upside, C wave to the downside. And the only question, or the main question, let's say it like that, that I'm dealing with on the 30-minute chart here at the moment, and that needs to be answered, or the chart needs to answer it, is do we get one more high before that move to the downside starts, or do we start that move to the downside straight away? And again, don't get me wrong, that's not bearish. It is a pattern that once completed would complete obviously here a fourth wave correction that would eventually then lead to a fifth wave rally into the 80K region. So it's bullish. This pullback I think could be an opportunity for anybody who missed, let's say, buying in this region. I did say it yesterday that in this region it might be reasonable to take some partial profits for anybody who accumulated here. But that's just a very general statement, no financial advice, you know that. And then if the price climbs higher, fine. You know, I said to you, without a break of micro support, I will not confirm a top in place. And if the price gives us further extensions higher and even higher than I might expect, fine. Then ideally, everybody's got a core position still, because we're in a bullish market. I think the idea needs to be to hold that healthy core position as long as possible until the bull market is over. While then in a very soft way or careful way to trade around it. Looking at this structure though, then, at some point the C wave to the downside, if that happens, you should be happy if you took some profits. So it's that win-win situation. You want to make sure that you have a strategy that prepares you for all these outcomes. For example, holding a healthy core position in case the price rallies higher, but making some, realizing some short-term profits of, let's say, shorter-term swing trades, and then be prepared for a drop into the support region, which again wouldn't be bearish as long as we're holding the lower support area here, and especially the 50.7K level. I don't expect the price to come down that much. If we get that C wave somewhere possibly here in the middle between 55.4K and 61.8K. Now zooming into the detail, as you can see, the support areas are still holding. And we say that in this wave C of B, in the yellow count that we're tracking, ideally we would get one more high. I shared with you, for anybody who missed the previous updates, I shared with you that the minimum requirements for that C wave of wave B have already been fulfilled here. That was with a swing high on Wednesday, because we've got all the waves we need really to count it complete, but that high was very unreliable. So I prefer still to see one more high, but the price is clearly struggling, right? The price is clearly struggling here, and maybe we get one more high, and that would be the ideal structure. So, however, I presented you in the previous video my idea that this here could be an ABC structure in wave 5, because the wave 5 should unfold as ABC. And the B wave support area is, well, down to 69K. That's currently getting challenged. As you might know, B waves can overshoot to the downside. So that's why these support areas are, let's say, not as solid for a B wave. But I would say if we get a convincing break below 69K, I would have to assume that the fourth wave is still unfolding. That would be my next thought then. And that could be as a wider flat structure. And that is valid as long as we're holding 66.7K. At the moment, I'm just thinking about this. This could even unfold as a triangle. Yeah, it's again not very clear, but from an Elliott Wave point of view, that's possible that we're dealing here with a triangle. It wouldn't be a beautiful triangle, but possible. So essentially, as long as we're holding 66.7K, one more high is expected. Below that level, yeah, I would have to assume that the top is in place. And then talking about a C-wave target to the downside there, we are looking at the 100% extension level. A, B, 1 second, yeah. So 58.9K, 59K, yeah. Just thinking, I shifted that. Okay. So yeah, that's sort of my idea currently about Bitcoin. Nothing major, no major changes here. But again, if you look at this starts to look a little bit like a triangle. But then it would need to turn to the upside here basically right now. Yeah. So possible triangle. It's even possible that, yeah, it's possible that this is still wave 4, or maybe the B wave is unfolding as a triangle. So anyway, I'll keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.